Hello everyone. Besides COVID-19, one of the hottest topic around is cryptocurrency.
Welcome to the world. Bitcoin festival ever happened in the history with world-class top speaker.
And we believe that Bitcoin is the best financial instrument to store your wealth against inflation and capture the value of your hard work so that it won't leak.
So the very, very good ideology about decentralized, one perfect example that would be Bitcoin. No governments in the world can manage it. It's 100% decentralized to every common man across the planet.
Bitcoin is deemed property by the IRS, and most countries deem it as property, which makes it an asset, not a currency. And the strongest currency is the dollar, and the strongest asset is Bitcoin.
It's not what I want or you want, it's what the institutions want. Institutions that are just stepping in or considering getting involved in allocating to crypto want one thing: Bitcoin. We're not going to print $2 trillion worth of paper. That currency is going to be digital.
So here's stocks. The government will make sure it doesn't crash. Gold will not crash, but crypto could. You know why? Because the Fed doesn't want it. Because the reason I like crypto, the reason I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff, is I don't like the Fed.
Hello, I'm Dr. Asheridan, Bitcoin Academy Lead Professor. I will teach you how to know exactly when to buy Bitcoin and what the Bitcoin and the other crypto are going to do in the coming months.
Biggest gathering of Bitcoin enthusiasts coming together to create an extraordinary movement.
The Global Bitcoin Festival in this October. And this is a gathering of industrial experts and enthusiastic, passionate Bitcoin community. It is a movement. This movement aims to update, to promote, to educate the adoption of Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you to join this movement. Yeah, sign up for the link below for this movement, the Global Bitcoin Festival. And I'll see you there. Hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to Monday. Greeting from Singapore, otherwise known as Paradise. Well, today is very exciting, very exciting. Bitcoin is above $62,000 already. Wow! Congratulations for many of you who has, if you have put some money in Bitcoin, congratulations. Now, some analysts says that 60,000, right, is going to be the next support line. Yeah, because many people say that when you hit 60 something, you will go down. But many analysts say that 60,000 will be the support line, which means actually it is the low point and not the highest. And there are many predictions on Bitcoin price for the next 3 months. Is Bitcoin on path to 100,000? Let's discuss this today. My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider every week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This program is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. We are making videos on Bitcoins and cryptocurrency investing. So if this is a topic that you'd like to learn more about, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Gently tap the thumbs up button and also the cling notification bell so that whenever we run a video, you are the first to know. Now, I'm very delighted to bring my friend, Dr. Clemen Chiang, to the program. He's also my teacher. I learned lots of things from him. Now, he's no stranger to many people because he is an authority in the field of financial investing and also coach and teacher to many thousands of students around the world. Welcome, Dr. Clemen.
Wow, Richard. We are back to the starting day one of the work week, Monday. And it's great because we've gone through one of the highest movement of the Bitcoin price in recent history. And thank God it was Friday, and thank God today is Monday.
Thank you. Now, Bitcoin is now above 62,000, right? As of just now when I see the price. Some analysts says that 60,000 will be the next support line. And there are many predictions on Bitcoin price in the next 3 months, which we are going to touch on later on. And also, Bitcoin is going on its path to 100,000, which we are going to discuss today. Now, there is two worrying issue for Bitcoin and crypto investor. Everybody worry about these two issue. One is the China issue, right? China is going to ban Bitcoin, ban cryptocurrency, etc. So we know that China can affect the price. Now, the other issue is USDT. Now, many Bitcoin investor and crypto investor, they trade with USDT, right? Called Tether.
Tether, yeah.
Tether, right? USDT, Tether. Now, the China issue is over and done with. Now, Tether just last week is hit with a 41 million fine because people for not representing truly that Tether is backed up by US dollar. So question to you, Dr. Clemen, is now that they have been fined, what is the consequences now with USDT?
Wow, that's a great question to start off our Monday. And, we covered quite a few points in your questions. Number one is the ban of China. And the great news is right now, we have arrived at a very, very important milestone. And the good news is this: China is 100% decoupled from Bitcoin and all crypto-related activities. They have gone to ground zero. They gone nuts. They presented a gift on silver platter to the Americans. So China is totally out of the equation right now, because once the price has been restored prior to the ban of Bitcoin, as well as Bitcoin mining in China, that's game over for China. Great news. Now, the second point that you asked is about US Tether, otherwise known as USDT. So we're going to zoom in right now, take a look at CoinMarketCap, and we're going to have a very clear understanding what is the impact of the recent fine. All right. So I go to CoinMarketCap for the mere sake that I want to pick out what exactly is the market cap of US Tether right over here. And I kind of show to the audience right now, it is standing at 69 billion market cap. All right. Now, what is the meaning of 69 billion market cap as opposed to this very interesting news? That they've been hit with a $41 million fine for lying about dollar reserves by the CFTCs, all right, Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Now, this is a giveaway. $41 million fine is like what some people call it peanuts compared to the total market cap value of US Tether. Now, the sister company, otherwise known as Bitfinex, was also hit with a 1.5 million fine by the CFTC. This is a much, much smaller peanuts. So 41 plus 1.5 is like 42.5 million. I bet those guys at USDT team, they are laughing all the way to the bank. This is like a very, very powerful fight put up by the legal team, and thereby they can get away at about $42.5 million. All said and done, it means that it put to a final closure. That's how far CFTC could really push US Tether to come to an ending. So there's a conclusion right now. There's a closure. Now, with this closure, it means that everybody is settled down. And that's the reason why on last Friday, we are looking at such a crazy, phenomenal pricing. We are right now just one whisker away from the all-time high. All-time high being marked at 64,854. And on Friday, what was the really, really exciting candle? We're looking at this big green candle right here. This was the candle that kind of spiked out on Friday and hitting a high of 63,000 and then going down. So right now, all floating average 62,000. Now, this is really, really important. It means that whatever outstanding issues that we really need to tackle has been tackled. And that's the reason why we are right now waiting for officially tonight for the official trading of the Bitcoin futures ETF. And I believe this is starting right here tonight. And once that kick off, it will hit to an all-time high, just like in previous cases when there was the first day of trading on Chicago Mercantile Exchange for Bitcoin, as well as for the Coinbase IPO listing on New York Stock Exchange, Bitcoin hit to an all-time high. So right now, everybody right now, we are waiting. We are just like 7 hours away from the ringing of the bell, and bam. So the window right now, Richard, is kind of squeezed to really a small window. And that's why let's recap on what we have seen on US Theta, all right? This fine is a giveaway, and it puts to an end, a closure to all these unsettling things about US Theta and all the stories that CNBC attempted to cover. It has come to a closure. Back to you, Richard.
So, Dr. Clemen, is it that now USDT is really backed by US dollar?
So right now, they pay for the fine due to a certain period of lack of transparency. Now they are putting up a whole bunch of commercial papers saying that, ranging from cash to commercial papers. And this is one of the story that CNBC is pushing really hard. They put their lawyers on the live show, and all the lawyers was willing to say is backed by commercial papers. Were they from China? Were they affected by China Evergrande? They are not commenting on it. All right. So this is as far as how the lawmakers try to push it, how the journalists try to stretch and further push it, but they are not speaking any further. All they do is put up a lawyer in front of a TV screen and reject all accusations. This is where we are right now, Richard.
Okay, so which means to say that investor can now use USDT and quite safe that they won't collapse. Okay, good. Now, the second question for you, Dr. Clemen, is it has to do with ETF. Now, US SEC approved Bitcoin future ETF last Friday. Open crypto now to a wider investor base. Now, besides SEC approval for future ETF, now NASDAQ also make an approval for one of the company that's also in a future ETF. Now we have two approval. One is SEC approval, one is NASDAQ approval. What is this two approval has on the impact of Bitcoin?
So that's a great question, Richard. And last Friday, I was trading through the night until about 4 a.m. in the morning. And that was on Saturday, 4 a.m. in the morning. And then out of nowhere, this tweet actually was tweeted out by the Securities Exchange Commission Investor Education Department. All right. So there's alias SEC_investor_ED. And this is like kind of a joke, I think it's released before time. And it's saying right here, before investing in a fund that holds Bitcoin futures contracts, which is basically Bitcoin futures ETF, make sure you carefully weigh the potential risks and benefits. So it was like a giveaway, it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I was looking at it. I said, how could this be? Must be a joke, right? And it was kind of using one of the social media tool called Hootsuite, which they can control the timing of the release. So all in fits in nicely, thereby confirming two ETF ready for trading. But, anything could happen in the very last minute, Richard. That's the reason why we need to witness the actual live trading happening tonight. Singapore time, tonight, Monday, which is Eastern time. We're talking about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, which is 9:30 p.m. Singapore time onwards. Once it starts to trade, that is the official live of the live Bitcoin futures ETF. So this is the part that kind of put everybody right now kind of really tensed up. And there's this like a pinball machine you pull and they're ready to release. And there's so much energy right now being pulled out together. So as we take a look at this article, NASDAQ listing hints that SEC may soon approve ETF application from Valkyrie. Now, all this is already said and done. In fact, I have visibility over the official SEC letter sent to Valkyrie ETF. Is already approved, done deal. But again, the whole idea is we got to watch the live trading. The live trading will kind of culminate into the peaking price of Bitcoin. So we are really at a short distance. What we want to take away from this information flow is right here back to the charts, all right? This is really important. And I want to show our audience right here what we should be picking out from this ETF approval. Step 1, all-time high 64,000. This is really the important milestone we need to break. Step 2, today we are trading at 62,000. In fact, we are just about 2,000 to 3,000 price movement to breaking the all-time high right over here. Now, everybody will push for all-time high, so that tonight or after tonight, all the media headlines will be Bitcoin hit an all-time high with the approval of the Bitcoin futures ETF and with the official day one trading of the Bitcoin futures ETF. This is expected already. So all the editorial team already kind of craft their headline ready to release, right? Now, what will happen is this. More importantly to us, the moment it touches its peak, then on the day itself, this is going to be nerve-wracking. I'm going to trace back right now to 14th of April. All right, 14th of April, which is right here on the all-time high. So I want all of us to kind of really dive really deep down to understanding this candle right here. This is the little hair, right? So in a red candle like this, what does it mean? Let me draw. It simply means this is a red candle, and then we have a hair on top, and then we have a hair below, all right? So I'm going to educate everybody right now, and this is really important for tonight. A red candle means the opening is at the top right here, all right? So this is the open, and then the closing is at the bottom of the candle, all right? So let me just type it out again. The closing will be somewhere around here, C-L-O-S-E. So I'm going to use my arrow to navigate. Open means this is the body of the candle at the top of the body of the candle, and close means at the bottom of the body of the candle. Now, the extreme tip of the hair is the high price. The bottom of the tip of the hair is the close price. So obviously what we can observe is what? Right at the opening, ding, the candles start to move down, right? Ding, and this is the one that we need to be really prepared for. All said and done, this is the moment tonight. And so we are like 7 hours away. Everybody will be kind of a very organized, push it. And in fact, the first push will try to hit the all-time high, which is exactly right here. This will be the first push so that the media can go out with a big statement, Bitcoin hits all-time high. And then it will start to navigate down something like this, all right? So this, I hope, can help everybody learn how to navigate just for tonight itself. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you so much. Now we all know that ETF is a big factor to move the Bitcoin price, yeah. But this ETF is the future ETF, which many analysts mention it is good to have, but it will, at least it's a first step to a real ETF, right? It will move the price, but it's a good first step to the real ETF. Now, there's an article that says that the real ETF actually could be even nearer. This is Grayscale that wants to convert their current fund into a Bitcoin spot ETF. And this is the real ETF that is backed up by Bitcoin. Now, can you just share with us who is Grayscale? They are supposed to be the largest corporate institution fund for Bitcoin. Who are they? And how do you foresee this spot ETF giving the bigger impact or being the catalyst to Bitcoin price going to 100,000?
Oh, yes, this is a really great question. So first of all, we have to visit again back to this website called bitcointreasuries.org, all right? This is always our starting point. And again, we went through our over 50 episodes of the training. So right over here, we highlighted to everybody that, hey, please don't forget the fact that, you know what, right now, the published information shows that only 7% of the 21 million fixed supply of Bitcoin is known, distributed across ETF, countries, public companies, and private companies. So this is the kind of a public ledger to kind of track that. But of course, many of them remain anonymous. You can only see a wallet address. Unless they tell it to the public, you wouldn't know who's the owner. All right. Now I come down to the area of the ETF right here. So I kind of zoom to this space. And what we are witnessing right here for ETF, on the top of the list, owning, holy moly, Bitcoin, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust on top of the list. And this is standing as a pink sheet, which is traded. We're going to look at the pink sheet in a short while. They own 654,000 Bitcoins. The value today, 40 billion, and of which they control 3% of the 21 million fixed supply. All right, now this is really big information. And then from this information, we come to look at the Wikipedia group and kind of give us some backdrop information. They started off as a digital currency group, and of which it was launched by Barry Silbert, who previously was the CEO of Second Market. And then he began to invest into blockchain-related companies, and thereafter he formed the digital currency group with Genesis and Grayscale becoming the first of the company's subsidiaries. And then I kind of jumped to Grayscale.com, which is the official website of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So you can see this is standing at 38.7 billion asset under management. This is like monster ETF, all right? And in fact, it's just a pink sheet. And over the last 12 months, they have delivered for their investors 413% up. And since inception, 39,800%. And that's why this whole generation wealth asset is so crazy. And then we come to the Yahoo Finance chart. You can right now buy into the shares of this pink sheet ETF. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, just look for it. And you are buying at $47 per share. And you know what? It's a bit distance off the previous all-time high. So we always check against the previous all-time high. And today it's trading at 47. So for 47 to go to 57, you need to move about another $10. All right. So kind of correlate with Bitcoin movement as I shown all of you just now. So in summary, what they need to do is a minor step. They already listed on they are listed on the OTC pink sheet, which is already approved by Securities Exchange Commission. And all they need to do is say, hey, I want to upgrade to a full-fledged spot ETF. So this is like the super cut queue, right? Because the earliest Bitcoin spot ETF waiting for approval is on 21st November. But if Grayscale initiate this move to kind of upgrade their status, they could jolly well cut all the queues out there. So this is a really interesting development. And again, we got to watch day one of the Bitcoin futures ETF trading. Let it ring the bell, let it trade, let it hit the all-time high, and all things will come to pass. Back to you, Richard.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have a good chance of having a real ETF that is really backed up by Bitcoin, right? If this thing really happened, and you know, like Dr. Clemen say, this will be a big move for Bitcoin if this happened. Now, and this another article which says that Bank of England may be rushing in to buy to get Bitcoin, and that happened because they want to protect their own asset and hedge against their own wealth, right? So as not to lose out to any other instrument. So this article says that Bank of England will scramble to buy Bitcoin before it hit 1 million. Now, question for you here is, Dr. Clemen, what is your take on an article like that a bank will actually go in and buy a lot of Bitcoin?
Wow, that's a great question, Richard. And you know, there are three parts to the bank's thinking. Step one, they have to decide as a bank whether they want to offer cryptocurrency as a product to their clients. So bank is very driven much by clients' demand. Just like I bang on the table of my banker, I say, hey, what the heck you guys are delaying, you should start offering cryptos trading on your platform and so on. So they'll feel the pressure from their own clients. So step one, I think is clear for Bank of England. Many of their existing clients want the bank to offer cryptocurrency trading and investment. So step one, take off done. Then step two, in order to offer trading, they need to have the reserve of the Bitcoin because Bitcoin trading comes in a pair, just like the traditional FX. For example, we always have US Japanese yen, US euro, US Sing dollar, and so on, right? But in the world of cryptocurrency trading, this is the pair that they need to offer in order to be on standby. As a result, I mean, their numbers is kind of a bit far-fetched, so they don't really have to wait before Bitcoin hit 1 million, all right? That's kind of far away for them. They should already start buying right now. So I kind of scratch my head and say, if you know it's going to go 1 million, why do you wait for 1 million and you buy Bitcoin? It's so far away. So why don't you buy it right now? So that is the real debate. So as we kind of scroll down right here, they feel that the bargaining, let me just make this larger for our audience right here. They feel that the bargaining phase will be their central bank digital currency stage. And when that fails, comes depression as the price tops 500,000, and then acceptance with the Bank of England scrambling to buy Bitcoin before it tops 1 million per coin. So this is their thinking, but I can tell you they are very conservative. They are still behind the curve. Many of the banks already completed their sandbox. Many of them already set up their crypto team, and many of them has already secretly bought into Bitcoins. And this is the real competitive edge. There's always competition between banks to kind of attract high net worth clients, family office to bank with them, right? So the first mover will always be the one championing the cause. Just in the case of Singapore, which is DBS Bank, which has won consecutively for 3 years, the world's #1 bank. They have already started a platform. They already got an approval from the regulator MAS and kind of right now scrambling, handling with their private clients, how to put into custody their investment into Bitcoin and the major coins itself. So this is really exciting developments. So our approach is look at the biggest bank out there first. DBS Bank on track. Standard Chartered Bank has already released a prediction for Bitcoin as well as Ethereum. And the rest of the banks in US already kind of secretly buying up Bitcoin behind the scenes. So this is a sure direction. Yes, Richard.
Dr. Clemen, if banks are like Bank of England, which is like, I don't know, a few hundred years old bank that may scramble to buy Bitcoin, well, I don't mind if they buy the Bitcoin at $1 million because they have the money to do it. Now, shouldn't we as ordinary investor, limited fund, we go in first and then we sell it to them at $1 million. What do you think?
Yes. So the whole idea of, when we started Bitcoin Buys over 50 episodes, the whole idea is always get in before the big announcement. So right now, it's really coming to pass. Bitcoin ETF, we've been talking about it since the first episode in June. And then right now it's just, you're seeing it, you're feeling it at this moment. So always look out, what is the next trigger event? And we get in before the trigger event. And leading to that, everybody will be scrambling. The late movers, the late comers, they will always scramble. And when they scramble, they'll make many silly mistakes, like overpaying for it, buying too much, maybe click the wrong button. In fact, suppose buy 500 million, they go and buy 5 billion. Many things like this will happen. And as a result, you will benefit from extreme volatility in terms of the pricing. So this is the moment in time. We are just waiting for the moon. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, we learned that Bitcoin is very volatile. Just now you mentioned that when it hit the all-time high, it will move down, and then later on it will move up again and move down again, move up again. So the idea is buy low, sell high, but many people buy low, sell high, and then go back in again. Hopefully it's low, but many people go in again at high, even higher, right? Now, there is an article that says that this will he probably bought his Bitcoin price at a lower price or whatever price. But when Bitcoin was 56,000, that's a couple of days ago, he sold his Bitcoin. And then he go back again the next day and buy back at 57, a higher price. So Dr. Clemen, what do you advise ordinary investor to do, especially in just 3 months when we are expecting it to go up or come down, or go up or come down? So what do you advise ordinary investor to do?
Wow, that's a great question, Richard. And this is the inspiration of the article that showed that a third largest Bitcoin whale sold at 56,000 and then bought back at 57,000 a day later. Now, most of you wouldn't have the backdrop or insight of what exactly is going on behind the mind of the whale. Number one, step one, most important, you must know that most of these whales, they bought Bitcoin at a very low price. Majority of them bought below $10,000. Some even bought below $1,000. Some of them bought at the auction. All right. So this is something that you cannot trace back one, because everybody go back to a long history since 2008 until today. So no point for you, ordinary investor out there, to kind of struggle with the idea that, oh my God, he bought at $500 and today I'm going to buy at $62,000. Then you can never feel at peace. You will struggle. All right. So point number one, let's accept it. There will always be people out there buying at a much, much lower price than what you've seen today at 62,000. Point number one. Point number two, when he bought at a low price, which we do not know what's the price, but we know he sold high at 56,000. But he buy higher than 56,000. This is the part where suddenly he realized that, wow, my gosh, I'm sitting on so much cash. What the heck did I just do? I'm sitting on a cash that's declining in purchasing power each and every single day. And the US government will keep printing US dollars at will. There's no fixed supply. This can happen to a whale. This can happen to anyone out there. That moment of epiphany, oh my gosh, what have I just done? And then he kind of woke up and said, okay, let's go back in again. So this is very, very, very common. Why? Because we've been, the day since we were born, we've been brainwashed, indoctrinated that we must hang on to our own currency. We were raised that way. And Bitcoin is a very fresh idea. It's not like since birth until right now, we have been like talking about Bitcoin. Even to the millennials, it's something new to them. So this is the point. Looking forward to the next 10 years, when majority of the population is really educated, indoctrinated well, brainwashed well, that cryptocurrency is the way to go, people will start forgetting about fiat. And this scenario will not happen. This scenario happened because, we are still struggling with the idea, okay, should we hold crypto or, put the US dollar back into my bank account? Do you have this struggle? It's very real, it's a real test to your fear and greed, and it's also a real test to your conviction and your commitment to the whole ideology of cryptocurrency taking shape in the next decade or so. So point number two, well taken. All right. So he suddenly wake up, okay, let me go back in again. And point number three is the one. Now, if he go back in, right now he's watching the price. And everybody is right now extremely careful with the price. Because he bought high, he wouldn't want to enter into the Red Sea. Remember step one, he bought so low, he sell high, he's forever in the green. So this part, you guys cannot compete with him. Step two, he's so high, realized the money, perhaps converted into USD, and then he realized, oh my God, I need to convert back to crypto again. So he bought high at 57,000. Now the step three, for this whale, I'll be watching him really, really close. He will do whatever it takes to prevent himself from entering into the red zone. So that's the reason why any price movement that's kind of there's a dip, that guy will sell off already. He will trigger everything to protect his hard-earned money, all right, so to speak. So for everyone who's out there thinking about this whole scenario, guess what? You are starting off right now today, you're not even performing what we call average cost, average cost. purchasing, and you're just buying one time, perhaps with your one time 5,000 or $10,000, you just buy one time. You're not going to like buy multiple times. So don't have to worry about this. In fact, what I'm more worried for you is that, are you into the game yet? If you're not into the game yet, no matter what we are saying here, there's no real test of your emotions and part of this movement. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, I don't know how many of you here are parents or grandparents. Myself, I'm a grandparent. I have 4 grandkids. So during me and my wife, we kind of spoil the grandchildren, you know. So every time their birthday, we buy them a lot of toys. So last year, we decided not to buy them toy anymore. We say, hey, we want to give them something useful, and then also to educate them. Yeah, to educate them about money and finance and all the other things. So last year, we decided to buy gold, right? 10 grand of gold for them. Now, there's an article here, which I want to show every one of you. Article here. Let me see. Am I able to show the article? Yeah, this article here, a Brazilian father, instead of giving his newborn daughter some toys or some Barbie doll, etc., give her a gift of 1 Bitcoin in 2017. Now, at that time, it's only $915. Yeah, and today that gift is worth $60,000. I'd like to show you what I give my grandchildren. So I give my grandson in June 2020 10 grand of gold. I bought it at Plaza Singapura. You know, some in Singapore, you know where's Plaza Singapura. 10 grand and $790. So that is in June 2020. Of course, today is worth a lot more. So my question to you, Dr. Clemen, is this: do you see trend whereby parents today helps their children to open wallet first, not just bank account? Because a lot of parents help their children to open bank account for saving. But do you see a trend moving forward now that when the population is more educated, right? They know what's inflation, deflation, etc. They will help their children to open a crypto wallet account and not just a bank account. Do you see that trend coming?
Oh, yes, Richard. I was in the year 2018, in February, I was celebrating Chinese New Year at Silicon Valley in the US. And then my friends were all like blockchain whales. They were giving the red packets in blockchain currency. They were just giving away coins, digital coins. And they teach the parents, okay, you download this app, all right, give me your wallet address. And on the spot, they demonstrated using the phone, boom, the coin just got deposited into their wallets. That is really like back in 2018 when, you know, there's not much movement of Bitcoin per se as we speak. But you have highlighted a really, really important point, and that is the comparison against gold. So I kind of bring out this chart. This is gold for us over the past 10 years, all right? So, I mean, if I kind of zoom in, you'll be looking at something really interesting right here, Richard. And that is, if we start off in the year 2010, I kind of drop my arrow right here, 2010, and move it across, gold was probably trading at about $1,000, right? And then we go back to 2020, when it kind of gold hit $2,000, right? It took 10 years just to make 2 times of the money for gold. 100% means 2x. 10 years. If you bought at 2010 versus 2020, 10 years. And not forgetting the fact that you had to go through this whole journey of the Red Sea, and then what we call the valley of the shadow of death, then you rise up again. Wow, it's very, very painful. That's the reason why we have to be very, very wise in discerning which is the asset class you get in today, and you don't see a Red Sea. Straight away you start seeing green. And this is really, really important because it will kind of boost your morale and your conviction and your psychology that indeed you're participating in a generational wealth. So what we've done over the past, like June to right now, October, past 4 to 5 months, we have gone through with our community from the lowest point of $28,000 per coin right now to the high point of $62,000 per coin. And this is like how many months only? 4 to 5 months. Can you imagine that, right? All other instruments can't even give you this kind of growth within 4 to 5 months period, but you are seeing this for the world of Bitcoin. So moving forward, as more countries start to engage and adopt what we call CBDC, central bank digital currency. So China will be the first to leapfrog this in February. I believe they will go all out to launch the digital yuan, followed by the digital dollar in the US. And for every dominant domestic currency that's launched in the digital format, it has to go into a currency pair. And the currency pair, I believe, will be Bitcoin. And that's the reason why this is really, really exciting era for us to be at this crossroad to witness such a phenomenal change of history. And we are part of this movement. And I'm encourage all of you to be part of this movement as well. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. That's the reason why we are very passionate about Bitcoin, because we believe that Bitcoin is one of the most amazing instruments for ourselves and for our generation to come to preserve wealth. And maybe some of you parents, you might also consider giving your children some Bitcoin so that they can keep it for a long, long time. Now, we are organizing this Global Bitcoin Festival this October, and not too long from now. It's a gathering of industry experts and passionate community of Bitcoin holders to update and to promote education. There's a link there. Now, for any one of you who have not signed up for the Global Bitcoin Festival, do sign up so that you can join this movement. And it is free of charge because it's financed by some of us who are very, very passionate on that, to encourage every one of you here to own a little bit of Bitcoin and to join the movement. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge many of our friends and supporters who are passionate Bitcoin holder that is supporting this event. Of course, we want to acknowledge Gemini, the exchange, and the founder that's going to support us. They're supporting this Global Bitcoin Festival. And of course, MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, that's going to speak in our event. Amazing, amazing guy. And Bitcoin Crypto, that has more than 1 million followers on their social media, speaking in our event. And we want to thank also Elvin from liquid.com for contributing, Fullerton Market, right? And also our sponsor, Singapore Myanmar Investor Limited, that is sponsoring our event, and also Dr. Clemen, right? Spiking. Now, my last question for Dr. Clemen, I reserve it to the very end, but I'd like to engage every one of you here in our prediction that the market has collected so far, is that for the next 3 months, there are several predictions for this year, right? Up to the end of the year, Bitcoin Fidelity says that you will reach 100,000. Bloomberg, 400,000. Ford say that at the end of the year could reach up to 700,000. JT Morgan says that Bitcoin can reach 140,000. Plan B, which is very, very accurate for the last couple of months, say that Bitcoin may reach 135,000. Nasdaq says an article that says that at the end of the year, Bitcoin can reach 100,000. Max Kaiser say 220,000. Pompiano say 100,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you, in your opinion, end of this year, 30th of December, what price do you think Bitcoin will reach? Can you please type on the chat there? Which price do you think Bitcoin will reach? Okay, 100,000, 400,000, 700,000, 140,000, 135,000, 100, or Nasdaq 100,000, or Max Kaiser 220,000, or POM 100,000. So can you type on the chat there? Which price do you think Bitcoin will reach? Help me type on the chat there. Come on, everybody, just type on the chat there. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. Okay. Please put in your opinion. You want to follow Fidelity, Bloomberg, Ford, JP Morgan, Plan B, Nasdaq, Max Kaiser, Pompiano. Which do you think Bitcoin price will reach? Okay, let me just right. Okay, let me see. Stop share already. Yeah. So, wow, we have 100,000, 135,000. Pam Rose says 700,000. Wow, Pam Rose, you are very optimistic. Jay say 140,000. Thomas 100,000. Santa is Plan B 135. John Cole is Plan B 135. Veronica say 100,000. 90,000. Daniel. Okay, so now 100,000. David 140,000. Ching MC Ching 120,000. Lilia 150,000. Okay, Sachin 135,000, which is Plan B. Ivan 100,000. Genevieve 150,000. Okay, so let's pass this to Dr. Clemen. So Dr. Clemen, between Fidelity, Bloomberg, Ford, JP Morgan, Plan B, Nasdaq, Max Kaiser, and Pompiano. So what do you think, Dr. Clemen?
Okay, my approach is quite a logical, simple steps. So I take out, first of all, I look at Bitcoin chart and make sure that I'm looking at it at a logarithmic. So a few things that we need to tune in is a logarithmic, and then we got the 3 blue ticks right here, right? So I click on number 2, maximum. So maximum, it goes the maximum data that the Yahoo Finance chart can kind of stretch. And then I kind of, right over here, start to pull it down, all right? I pull it down, move to the left, together to kind of want to see a very, very important number in front of me. I'm going to show you what's this important number, right? Very soon, right over here. The important number is here. The chart must be able to see hitting about 500,000, all right? So right now we see on the extreme right here, hitting about 570,000, all right? Now, why this is important? Because the major anchors of price prediction is 500,000. This is led by Katie Wood from ARK Invest. Quite a number of bigger players are also looking at 500,000 as the milestone. The question is which year, right? So what I'm going to do right now, I take the previous all-time high, which is right here, and that was back then 19,000, 2017, all right? And then the all-time high this year, 2021, 63,000. So I should attempt to just kind of plot it out right here, connect these two guys and kind of fire away. Right now, they're aiming like 210,000 if I go on a kind of a linear line. But you see, the thing is, I've not manipulated the charts yet. What I've done, I can squeeze it out, squeeze it in. If I manipulated the chart to a level, it can also see 1 million on the horizon. Now, this is important because there are already projections out there right now going to 1 million per coin, okay? Then I come back again to draw my 2 points again, and kind of stretch it out, right? So somewhere around here, which is 2024, I'm going to put a stop because 2024 is the 4th Bitcoin halving. 2020 is the 3rd Bitcoin halving. And from that point onwards, I'm going to kind of curve it out already. Go all the way like this. This is how I look at pricing. So why is Bitcoin halving is so important? For every halving, we are getting very, very close to the 21 million fixed supply. Now, based on projected numbers, by the time we hit Bitcoin halving number 6, right? So 3rd is 20, 4th is 24th, 5 is 28, 6 is 2032. At 2032, there's no more Bitcoin to mine. That is the time where the pricing will kind of go ballistic to $1 million per coin. And if you kind of drop the line, drop somewhere 1 million and drop it down, you kind of hit around 2032, around that period. So near term, everybody is gunning for 100,000 this year. That's granted. All right. We already got 4 Bitcoin spot ETF coming up for approval. The first one being 21st November. And if Grayscale Bitcoin Trust want to shortcut the process, it may even happen before 21st of November. Now, once that happens, we'll see a big peak of the pricing hitting above 100,000. And then everybody will start hunting for the next big story. So what can be a bigger story? After that, will be all about adoption already. And I see the future is all about big brands, big companies coming out and say, okay, we accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. Okay, we accept Bitcoin as a form. Okay, we accept Bitcoin as a form of payment. That kind of adoption rates will drive everybody nuts. And it will coincide, I believe, the biggest event after Bitcoin spot ETF approval will be the launch of the CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. And the one that we're really looking forward to is the US digital dollar. So I hope this chart will kind of guide you, kind of play around. You can, expand it, squeeze it out, play with the logarithmic of the chart and do your curvature. But you must see the end results at the right-hand side. If you don't see the numbers here, you are not seeing the future and the vision. So that's my prediction of Bitcoin pricing. Thank you very much, Richard.
Hey, there you are from Dr. Clemen. So Dr. Clemen, now that the Global Bitcoin Festival is so close, what wisdom will you share with every one of us logging in right now? Last few words from you.
Oh, yes. So we are so close, and I really want to give a big shout out and thanks to the team at Success Resources and for Richard's leadership, starting the very first episode of the Bitcoin Bites right in the month of June when Bitcoin was trading about $30,000 per coin. And right now kind of hit 100% 2 times, which is right now over $60,000 per coin. And that's the reason why you can see this whole organization of the actual event, which is a Global Bitcoin Festival, has been planned from day one with this vision in mind. What is this vision? How can we rally our community to participate in such a wonderful, wonderful growth? But we can't come up to you and say we hold a crystal ball. Nobody holds the crystal ball. We are not God. We don't pretend to play the role of God as well. But what we do is this: we provide insight. And the insight will come from the biggest player out there in the world of Bitcoin. And that's the reason why we put together a Global Bitcoin Festival to celebrate. Because we already back then in June, we already start to calculate when is the best time to celebrate? November and December. When is the best time to organize the event? Exactly 1 week before we step into November. And that's exactly what you guys are looking at. So I kind of go through with you guys the real history of how this event was created, what was the thinking back then, and what was the confidence. The confidence is so clear to us. There's so many wheels in it already. But the problem is this: most of the ordinary Joes out there, they never even heard about what is a wallet, how to withdraw, how to transfer, how to buy, sell. They probably never even heard about Bitcoin. So thereby, we created over 50 episodes, and all this will culminate finally with a big bang at the Global Bitcoin Festival. So I want to encourage you, all of you, you're right now part of the movement with us. You know the history and the backdrop. You know our intent is good, and that we wish to bless all of you so that you can make money. Other than your banks, your money sitting in the bank that's earning you like 0.05% interest per year, I tell you what, you got no other options. This is probably the best option you can make today. So I'm going to see you right there at the event, and we are really so excited to have the event launch on the 28th and 29th. This is exactly 10 days countdown. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. That's all for today. Wait till we meet you again on this coming Wednesday. So do support us on the Global Bitcoin Festival. Inform your friend to sign up for this program. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead. Hello everyone. Besides COVID-19, one of the hottest topic around is cryptocurrency.
Welcome to the world. Bitcoin festival ever happened in the history with world-class top speaker.
And we believe that Bitcoin is the best financial instrument to store your wealth against inflation and capture the value of your hard work so that it won't leak.
So the very, very good ideology about decentralized, one perfect example that would be Bitcoin. No governments in the world can manage it. It's 100% decentralized to every common man across the planet.
Bitcoin is deemed property by the IRS, and most countries deem it as property, which makes it an asset, not a currency. And the strongest currency is the dollar, and the strongest asset is Bitcoin.
It's not what I want or you want, it's what the institutions want. Institutions that are just stepping in or considering getting involved in allocating to crypto want one thing, Bitcoin. We're not going to print $2 trillion worth of paper. That currency is going to be digital.
So here's stocks. The government will make sure it doesn't crash. Gold will not crash, but crypto could. You know why? Because the Fed doesn't want to. Because the reason I like crypto, the reason I buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that stuff, is I don't like the Fed.
Hello, I'm Dr. Dan, Bitcoin Academy Lead Professor. I will teach you how to know exactly when to buy Bitcoin and what the Bitcoin and the other crypto are going to do in the coming months.
Biggest gathering of Bitcoin enthusiasts coming together to create an extraordinary movement.
The Global Bitcoin Festival in this October. And this is a gathering of industrial experts and enthusiastic, passionate Bitcoin community. It is a movement. This movement aims to update, to promote, to educate the adoption of Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite you to join this movement. Yeah, sign up for the link below for this movement, the Global Bitcoin Festival. And I'll see you there.